All right, what's going on, guys? Brian Sanchez here. I'm making a quick video on how to actually start door knocking. This video is dedicated to the window cleaning companies who are just starting out or already producing $10,000 per month, or to that sales rep who is looking to get started and has no clue where to start. As far as choosing your area, this is the easiest part. I'm going to walk you guys through on how to actually do it step by step. Knocking area efficiently and optimally. A lot of new reps love just knocking door for door and not keeping track of who they talk to, the social proof, the names, and understanding the area efficiently to your advantage. And then producing sales really just boils down to closing more deals, being persistent, building rapport, and framing your pitch in a way where you're building urgency and making them feel left out from the deal that you're producing in the area. All right, so let's get started with choosing your area. I'm a firm believer in that every door is a sell, but unfortunately, with home washing and window washing services, you're going to have to target high income areas. So it does limit your area as far as making sales because you're closed off in a proximity where only a certain amount of people can buy from you. As far as choosing the areas you want to knock in, it's super straightforward. We're going to go ahead and go to Zillow. For example, we're going to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and you're going to go ahead and put these three filters in. You're going to go ahead and put either for sale or sold. I personally don't mind which one. You're going to put a price over $800,000 in revenue. I've been selling too much. 800,000 in home price selling and above. That way, you guys have a wide variety of people with money in that proximity. And then you're going to go to home type and click houses. And then this is going to allow you to see the top selling homes in Atlanta, Georgia, if you're knocking in this area. And then you're going to essentially have a large pool of homes within that proximity within the same price. Now, the next thing you're going to want to focus on is mapping out where and when you want to start. I personally always like to map out my area the night before. That way, I can wake up, do my routine, and go straight to area and knock on my first door. So I'll show you guys how to do that right now. Let's go, for example, to this house. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and clearly see the address here. Copy and paste that. All right, perfect. So once you have the address, once you find a house that you want to knock in, you're going to want to zoom in, make sure that other homes are around, if not the same price, if not more. And then you're just going to go ahead and copy and paste this address into Google Maps. As I already did that, I'll show you guys here. This proximity seems pretty good. A lot of big houses you can see here from the Google map itself. And yeah, I mean, from there, you essentially plan out where you want to start knocking the night before. That way, cool, now that you have that address pulled up, what you're going to do is zoom in on Google Maps, check out the area, how many homes there are around it, and you have a brand new neighborhood ready to knock and make some sales in. Me personally, I like to knock in a certain pattern. So for example, if I start knocking on the left side, I'm going to keep on knocking the left side all the way around up into the point where I meet the cul-de-sac or the end of this street, and then I'll just keep on knocking all the way around until I meet back to where I started. And I would do this around twice in the morning and then twice in the afternoon, meaning in the evening. Reason being is because you want to get out all the no's out of the way. That way, when prime time comes around, meaning 5, 6, 7, 8, even 9 p.m., you get all the no's out the way. You'll have a fresh batch of leads ready to either tell yes or no, right? Your whole objective when knocking doors in the morning is to get a feel for the environment, get a feel of who is in the area. If there's anybody home with cars in the driveway, knock the house. If you see a home with no cars and you see like oil spots on the floor, that's a clear sign that no one's going to be home at that time. So now you have that in mind for the evening. So when you knock around the same time, around 6, and you see the same home with 2 cars, now you know that people are home. So you knock it, pitch them, and potentially make that sell. So these are little things that a lot of people don't talk about online that I know can provide a lot of value to the person watching this. So let's just say, for example, this whole area right here is all you have. You're gonna start knocking this first house all the way around until you meet here. You're gonna do this twice in the morning just to get all the no's, just to see who's home and who's not home. And then in the evening, once you restart knocking, if you decide to take a break, I recommend that, restart fresh, take a couple deep breaths, drink some water, down some black coffee, and just get back on the doors. Do this in the evening and redo it again, knock this entire this cycle again back twice. And then at nighttime, you'll get a feel for who's home, who told you no, who bought from you. And then by this time, you're going to know the neighborhood more than they know themselves, more than the homeowner knows themselves, right? You're going to know people by their first name, what kind of car they drive, what kind of dogs they have, where they're from, what college they went to, if they're from the area, if they just moved in. These are little things you want to know when you're knocking doors. So by the time you get that one person who is ready to buy, they trust you off the rip because you've mentioned so many names, where they're from, and they trust you because you've been around, they know you, you're not just Joe Schmo popping up from the corner. So I essentially kind of rambled on about that, and these two intertwined in that conversation. And producing more sales is what I really want to touch on. It's really going to boil down for you to close more deals, right? If you see the prospect clearly wanting to buy from you, just simply close, ask them for the phone number, and sign them up. That way they understand that they're in the buying process, and you're not giving them time to say no or back out of the sale. If you've done everything correctly at this point in the evening, you should have all the names in the neighborhood. You should at least be 3 to 4 sales in the afternoon, if not at least one if you're new. The whole goal is to not make any sales, is to get to know the environment, and the sales will come with it. Obviously, like, the goal is to make money and do sales, but it's like you want to keep these little things in mind while you're knocking doors, which ultimately leads to making you more sales and knocking more doors. So I'll give you a quick example as to what I mean by knocking the same area a couple times before you head home. I ended up knocking this. I'll show you. So all these little gray pins, if you don't know what app this is a Homebase 360, Sales Rabbit. They're both merged in. But the gray pins means people that I've knocked on 3 times before anyone answered the door, and this was in about a same day span. I knocked this house 3 times before anyone answered, and on the 4th time, I was able to sell them. And then that's just because I was remaining persistent. I name dropped the 2 sellers, the 2 people that I sold next door, and then I just bandwagon off of them. And this applies for, making sales and getting told no. I'll rather get told no than just keeping knocking the same door over and over, because one thing these homeowners need to understand is, like, I'm not leaving their doorstep unless I get a firm no. And that's the mindset you need to have in order for you to perform at a high rate. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you are a window cleaning company that's looking to scale from $10,000 to $45,000 or more per month consistently, feel free to reach out, book a call below. I apply the same structure and frameworks that I just gave you now into my business partner's company, which allowed them to scale from $20,000 a month into $132,000 in less than 20 days. Everything is documented on my Instagram over at Real Brian Sanchez and Strive.sales. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'll be producing more videos like this consistently. But yeah, just shoot me a DM if you have any questions.